To make this deal possible, you must abide by all my commands. You must be in service of me. This is for all the glory, all the praise.
The greatest scorer to ever touch the basketball.
He can do everything that a guard can do.
He's literally one of the greatest players ever.
You will trounce over your rivals. You will become immortalized. You shall be known as the greatest. Do you take this deal? I'll take the deal. It's past midnight and the news drops.
Holy bleep.
I think the Phoenix Suns just won the NBA championship.
And you know what? KD will deliver a championship in Phoenix.
The Phoenix Suns might as well forfeit this game. It's bad, man.
And they try again.
Bradley Beal, KD, D-Book. This is the best team in basketball.
This move was made because Kevin Durant is in his mid-30s.
Is this Kevin Durant's last best chance to win a championship?
Another big free, another chance at winning a title. This time, though, they would run into a bit of a problem.
You know, they got KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels.
It's on the glass for the Wolves. Edwards. Cash! Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen.
Kevin Durant's becoming increasingly irrelevant.
What once was a celebrated player is now one that has his legacy questioned.
KD loving it. I love the competition. Edwards again. Cash!
I think everybody here knows that's my favorite player of all time, so that was probably one of the best feelings ever in my whole life.
What does it feel like?
I'm willing to say this series is over.
Don't count us out. You know, it's a series for a reason.
If they get bounced out in the first round, that's not a good look.
Yeah, my son's in trouble.
Because this is a wrap. They look defeated. The Minnesota Timberwolves have snatched their souls, and they're telling them about it, okay?
But this was for all the glory, for all the praise.
He's literally one of the greatest players ever, and we spend too much time on the bullshit instead of just appreciating his fucking night-to-night greatness.
When it comes to being underappreciated, he doesn't fall in that category.
But as they say, the devil is in the details.
Kevin Durant might be the only player in the history of basketball that is going to have an all-time great Hall of Fame career, but also have a disappointing career.
And this was interesting. KD, via the Arizona Republic, in a recent conversation about the GOAT debate, he feels that he should be included. KD said, because I went to the Warriors?
KD doesn't seem to get it.
Because I went to the Golden State Warriors. Why shouldn't I be in that conversation? That's the question you should ask. Why not? What haven't I done?
Kevin Durant has accomplished so much in his career, but there's a reason why he's not in the conversation. He broke an unwritten rule.
If we knew that was acceptable, probably a lot of us would have switched up.
Not even before the ink dried, there were the critics.
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar.
All the all-time greats has went and led their team to the championship. Kevin Durant hasn't done that yet.
Kevin Durant is between 15 to 20 somewhere. He can move up, I think, if he could lead a team to a championship on his own.
Oh, but there were praise. A lot of it for sure.
Kevin Durant is a transcendent talent, bro. Like we've never
seen it before.
Kevin Durant is, in my eyes, the greatest scorer to ever touch the basketball.
I've never seen a more skilled guy at that height. He could do everything that a guard can do.
And with every critic, it seemed like there was somebody out there defending Kevin Durant.
How you not gonna say he's in the conversation with the GOAT? What is the criteria to being the GOAT? Is it 6 rings? If that's the case, then Michael Jordan is not the GOAT.
True. Bill Russell is.
Bill Russell is the GOAT. If we talking ring culture.
Right.
You have players saying Kevin Durant's the GOAT, but does he really deserve to be called such?
Well, if you feel like you should be in the GOAT conversation, you actually gotta do GOAT things.
And this was beginning to become the consensus opinion about Kevin Durant.
As far as team success, if we put him at the same standard as we do Steph and LeBron, he just hasn't met those requirements. And that's a little disappointing to me, being that he's a generational player.
Okay, for real though, I'm actually sad that I have to quote Paul Pierce.
Paul, riddle me this. Who's the better NBA player?
That's easy. I can say that off the bat. That's me.
I know he's delusional. I know he's dumb, but I just had to do it. I'm sorry. I had to, bro.
24 years old, you gave me Shaq. When I'm 24, 25, you gave me LeBron and Bosh. I'll be single 5 or 6 championships, easy.
Okay, let's stop listening to that guy. And also, if you support the video, if you like these videos, subscribe. I'm going to push out more content. Second channel as well. I got a 1-hour video on there that you would love to watch. All right, let's get back to talking about KD's GOAT case. Does he have one? And what does KD think about this?
When you talk about the GOAT conversation, for instance, right? I actually think that people don't think that everyone has an asterisk next to your championship. But that's the thing. So then when you talk about the GOAT conversation, right? And I'm not here advocating for you to be in it or not be in it. I'm saying that.
And me either.
Right. No, I know you're not.
This was a conversation KD had with his, longtime agent, Rich Kleiman here.
Let's look at your body of work.
Let's not even look at the accolades that are accumulated. Just look at the seasons of the numbers.
We're going to get to that.
I suppose the sit-down interview was meant to cover, the basis of what KD was trying to say about the GOAT case. But all it did was scream PR. Obviously, this is from Boardroom, the network that both Kevin Durant and his agent Rich Kleiman founded. So, okay, all right.
LeBron James has 20 straight seasons scoring 25 points or more a game. That's the record. You know who's second?
Kevin Durant.
15 in a row this year.
Oh, yeah, he's amazing. Kevin Durant, don't get me wrong. Right, the same guy that coined Porzingis as the unicorn, right, when he first got into the league. Kevin Durant himself may be one of the original unicorns, right, at the time.
In another year, Fred and Greg, he would have been the first pick. But because Greg Oden's in this draft, the prototype center that's going to be a championship-level player, I think he's going to be the second pick.
They dubbed him as a scoring machine in college, obviously. That's really his MO here. They even called him the most complete perimeter big since Kevin Garnett. Those are some big shoes to live up to. And to be fair, he did. But the one thing is, he wanted to control his destiny and fulfill his desires. And that led him to becoming one of the most polarizing figures in the NBA.
The weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar. At the time, I called it the weakest move I had ever seen by a superstar in my life. And I meant it.
Let's revisit this deal that was made on July 4th, 2016, where Kevin Durant would become a Warrior. Obviously, this was something that Thunder fans were not too happy about. Not just that, even his teammates weren't happy about it. Westbrook posting this on Instagram, a clear shot at Kevin Durant for those who know, right? Kevin Durant and Westbrook's teammate Kendrick Perkins would often call his teammates cupcakes when they would be soft on the court. But the animosity didn't stop there. Westbrook and Kevin Durant were not on good terms because of what KD did the night before.
According to what I have been told, the night before Kevin Durant flew to the Hamptons, Kevin Durant had dinner with Russell Westbrook and literally looked Russell Westbrook in the face and told him, "I'm not leaving."
If true, this is very damning information, right? And obviously you can see the bad blood boil over to the court. But there's one problem though. Stephen A. Smith, after saying this, got a phone call.
Kevin Durant reached out, said, "It's BS what I'm saying. I should check my sources. I would tell you this has been told to me."
Sources?
Multiple. Multiple.
Like multiple means more than two?
Yes.
Because all you need is two that you trust.
No. I got this more than two.
Now, I will not be putting these clips out here if there weren't any merit to these words here. Obviously, Kevin Durant was exposed when he tweeted this out in reply to this tweet, where he criticized Russell Westbrook and criticized the Thunder team that he was playing for. And so there is some animosity there. There's grounds for it, right? Not just that, but you look at a burner account he had on Instagram, and Kevin Durant seemingly seems to be the one that has this, according to his brother here who tagged him here. And the username he has is apparently a combination of two street names where he grew up in Maryland. Now, if that wasn't enough, I mean, you could see how he argues both platforms. It's the same way, honestly. And this was all done after his game-free shot.
The below opportunity. Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant from downtown. But Golden State stays perfect. A crushing loss for the Cavs.
In a series where LeBron James admitted himself that he felt drained mentally and physically. A series where Kevin Durant shot these splits when guarded by LeBron in the first 3 games. A series where LeBron would regress in the 4th quarter and where KD would excel and outplay the king. And this wasn't no small feat, right? Kevin Durant winning his first championship that year in 2017. He said it as much himself, saying that was the best moment he's ever had, and saying that regarding LeBron, he felt like he was passing the torch to him. And of course, word got out that he said this and people were mad and outraged. Now, Kevin Durant put out that this was taken out of context and that he was really trying to compliment everyone, especially LeBron. But Kevin Durant did add that as far as basketball skills are concerned, he felt like he was on the same level as LeBron James. It felt like LeBron was telling him welcome. It felt like the move to the Warriors paid off substantially. Of course, in a YouTube poll, there was a interesting question that was asked. There was one commenter that said LeBron was better than Kevin Durant, and Boardroom replying, nah. And I left a comment myself. This used to be Kevin Durant's personal channel, by the way.
Real hoopers know that Kevin Durant is going to go down as a better, I think, better basketball player
than
LeBron. At the end of the road, not right now.
Now, obviously, you have clips like these saying that he's better than LeBron, but don't let that fool you. That's not the consensus.
And KD's not that young from them.
He's not, but when
he's not being
LeBron,
pushed.
Right.
He's not being pushed over the limit.
I'm not even sure Kevin Durant believes that argument to be even real. Okay, look at what Kevin Durant said in 2013, where he talked about how he was tired of being second. Look at the word second being highlighted so many times. He talked about this fact that he always came second. At the draft, he came second. He came second in MVP voting 3 times. He was just tired of being second. So even KD knew at the time that he was not the best, right? And he wasn't gonna settle for that. Unfortunately, though, he still isn't.
I wish I could play against him every night.
There's no back and forth. I haven't said anything.
You know, you love to compete at the highest level, and he's one of the guys that play at the highest level.
It always felt like for the better part of a decade in Oklahoma, Kevin Durant was in the shadows of LeBron James, always being second in MVP voting, always losing to LeBron in the finals, for example, right? And it was merely competition. There was no bitterness between the two. Kevin Durant and LeBron both complimenting each other.
The way he plays the game and his demeanor. I mean, he guys who never gets in trouble, who plays the game the right way. You know, and that's what it's about. I mean, you handle your business on the court, and you take care of business and be a professional and role model off the court, and things take care for you.
So with no bitterness, right? It's just a friendly rivalry, really. And Kevin Durant was very focused on being the best that he could be, right? But that wasn't good enough.
Kevin Durant is once again falling right into LeBron James' trap.
You had people criticizing the fact that they're so friendly towards each other, right? Saying that, oh, there needs to be a competitive edge between players, and LeBron and KD are too friendly towards each other. Kevin Durant was following a similar career arc, this time though drafted by a Thunder team that was actually rising up in the ranks, and it looked like they had a good chance of contending and winning.
How about the hesitation, Mike? That was well done.
And this was still a great place to be, right? LeBron was the solidified great, and Kevin Durant was the uprising superstar that was going to take over.
Kobe or LeBron?
Well, I mean, I'd say Kevin Durant.
In 3 years, Kevin Durant will be the best player in basketball.
I love it. What about Kevin Durant? What do you think about Kevin Durant?
Yeah, you talk about these two and you battling who's the best, and Kevin Durant is going to sneak in the back door.
Now, of course, to talk about this, we have to go back and talk about the decision. The LeBron James sit-down interview on ESPN. Oh boy.
I thought this was a great idea. I was like, look, this is a flex of strength. And then I watched the actual show. And I was like, okay, this is not like, this isn't going very well.
So in 2010, after losing to the Celtics in the second round, of course, LeBron James was a free agent and he was set to make his decision. That's what the whole point of this sit-down interview was. But the whole execution of it was off, obviously. And after LeBron made his decision,
I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat.
Cavs fans were irate. They were angry and they were sad. And they just felt all the emotions. They wanted to burn his jerseys. They wanted to really let LeBron know how they felt about this move. Quite frankly, it was a show that I think LeBron regrets it to this day.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
And just like Kevin Durant, this move was heavily criticized by the media as well. LeBron James was known as a villain amongst the eyes of the fans and the NBA media. Skip Bayless was the lead head of this brigade against LeBron James.
Somebody beat you up. You're not going to congratulate them on beating you up. That don't make sense. It don't make sense to me.
The Miami Heat Big Free becoming the most loathed franchise. And of course, you may think to yourself, well, LeBron did it. Why can't KD do the same thing? Well, there's an important distinction to make regarding these two, and that is Kevin Durant was up 3-1 in this series against the Warriors in 2016, right before he made his famous decision to go and join a 73-win team that was the best in the league.
Listen, one of the reasons old heads like myself got mad,
when a guy is great, if Michael Jordan had a winning play with the Lakers or the Celtics, they would have been unbeatable. I personally want to beat those guys. So listen, he had the right to do it. We didn't like it. We're never going to like it because we knew it was going to ruin the competitive balance.
2018 felt like a deja vu, even for Kevin Durant. He made this shot in Game 3 just like he did last year in Game 3 to close out the Game 3. And his face, his look, he was stone cold.
If I'm him, I'm not listening to any of us.
Right.
I'm going to do what I want and win. So hopefully for himself, he's not insecure or upset.
And around this time, free agency loomed for Kevin Durant once again. And you could see the cracks in the armor. KD being criticized for taking the easy way out, right? The MVP trophy that he won in the finals, it didn't seem to fill that void that he thought it would. Even he said himself, after winning that championship, I learned that not much had changed. Oh no.
You've obviously been around the noise for so long. Is it bothering you more this year? Is it louder this year?
It's unnecessary. You got to do Ethan Strauss, who come in here and just give his whole opinion on stuff and make it seem like it's coming from me. And he just walk around here, don't talk to nobody, just walk in here and survey and then write something like that. And now y'all piling on me because I don't want to talk to y'all about that.
Days before, he wrote an article where he said that sources say that Durant believed that beating LeBron James in 2017 would make him the better player. And of course, there were people that trashed the article, right? And evidently, you see those tweets and you look at the likes. Kevin Durant is there liking the tweets. So he's aware of this.
Kevin Durant was the better player. Kevin Durant was the best player on the Golden State Warriors.
Now, Ethan Strauss also wrote a book called The Victory Machine, talk about the Kevin Durant days in the Warriors, and it seems like Kevin Durant was a bit bitter that the reporters treated Steph differently than he did Kevin Durant. Now, the bitterness was not just towards Steph, but apparently he said here the motion offense that was run in the Warriors only worked at a certain point.
Please tell me where you seen any indication of me hating on my teammates.
Yeah, we know. We loved you on the Warriors. We just wanted you to stay and wanted to know why we broke up, why it ended.
Now, KD confronted Warriors fans in a space in 2021, obviously, to talk about the bias they had for Steph.
Did Steph help you become a better player? Did he elevate your game?
In what way? That's a broad question, bro.
That is a broad question.
Like, did he make me a better defender? Better shooter?
Did he create more space
better,
for you?
Better ball handler?
Did he create more space for you?
Of course he did. He's a sniper. Did I create more space for him?
The numbers would say yes.
He was still getting double and triple teamed.
I don't believe Steph was getting triple teamed or double on the team.
He was definitely getting double
on our
teamed.
team.
This whole debate then went on a tangent on, Steph Curry getting double teamed and how other players don't get double teamed like him.
If I use a screen, if a screen comes up, somebody try to set a pick on my man, what do you want that other defender to do?
I'm not even talking about screen. I'm talking about fast breaks. I'm talking about
fast
double
breaks.
And not everybody.
And yeah, Steph fans will tell you, Ty Lue said it multiple times, their game plan was to double Steph in the finals.
Steph was a bad guy, you know what I'm saying? So he's a bad man. So we had double team him every time he touched the ball, and he still averaged 27.
Part of the reason Kevin Durant left the Warriors is because he felt like he wasn't getting the same amount of praise that his other teammates would, like notably Steph. Oh, he's getting double teamed. That's why Kevin Durant was able to put up the numbers he did in the finals.
The way y'all talk about KD sometimes just be blowing me away. I just don't get it. That man, KD, can go out there, shoot 22% from three. He can get locked up by Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown. So for whatever reason, he's still top 5. He's the benefit of the doubt every single year.
KD then responded to this as well.
I actually did respond to KD. I just told him that niggas hold you to a different standard. That's the point.
Now, the back and forth will not just be on Twitter, right? You had other people, chiming in saying that he's protected by the media. Kevin Durant obviously laughing this off. And so then he went to this space and confronted them head on.
I just think how y'all even look at the game is whack as fuck. Like, playoff success, like you factor in team success when you talking about players. I just think how y'all consume the game is trash. Like, are you good or not?
I agree.
And Kevin Durant just seemed to have a problem with the notion of, rankings.
Oh, wait, so you basically don't fuck with rankings?
I used to fuck with rankings, but it's just gotten to the point now. I fuck with the game of basketball. I don't try to nitpick around it. Obviously, we're going to look at stats and look at why a team won or lost, but it's a lot of nitpicking going on around our game right now. It's just no fun to even talk to anybody about basketball.
But obviously, they caught on to the fact that he didn't feel this way this whole career.
When did this switch up happen with you? Because
once I got to the league.
If that was the case, so it didn't really matter to you if you was the best player in the league or not.
What, like, no. Being the best player in the league is like, what being the best player in the league? I just want to be in the conversation. I want to be an all-star.
But then you said at one point, you said you was tired of being number 2.
Yeah, see, when I said that, we had just lost the championship. That's what I was tired of being. Number 2, because we had lost the championship. That was 10 years ago.
You look at the quote, he also talks about how he's tired of being second because he got drafted second. He was second in MVP 3 times. That doesn't just sound like he was tired of being second because of a championship that he lost in 2012. Anywho, Kevin Durant will go on to play for Brooklyn. And during that saga, there was a lot of unfortunate events.
James Harden looks like he's going back to the locker room. Kyrie Irving holding that right shin.
I stay rooted in my decision.
Look, I get it. Kevin Durant had to deal with Kyrie's nonsense. He had to deal with James Harden, obviously, and all the injuries. So it was hard for him and his teammates to have continuity during the Nets' tenure, right? So as fortunate as it may be, Kevin Durant's Nets tenure is really a whole lot of what ifs.
Sort of a failure. Yeah. But they didn't stay together. They played 16, was it 16?
16.
Short.
But Kevin Durant during this Nets tenure said something quite interesting that, ran counter to what he said previously. So obviously with Chris Haynes, he sat down saying, I'm not a leader? What the F does that mean? A lot of people say, I'm not a leader because I didn't tell Kyrie to get vaccinated. But the whole thing with Steph Curry and the Warriors is, you didn't have to be a leader.
Skip, in 2017, he said, I came to play basketball in the exact same way I'm playing right now. Yeah. Steph Curry is the face of the franchise, and that helps me out because I don't have to be. I don't want to have to be a leader. I'm not a leader. I'm not bad. I'm bad at saying, stand behind me, follow me. Not one of those guys who's just like that. Skip, he's telling you he doesn't want to be a leader. But then he's a walking contradiction, and then turns around and says, well, I don't have to tell you I'm a leader or show you that I'm a leader.
And obviously this is from the same GQ article we highlighted a couple minutes ago. Kevin Durant's style of leadership is different than most, right? And that's not to say that what he said is completely wrong, right? He could lead in his own way, but Kevin Durant requesting out from the Brooklyn Nets after they lost in 2022 to the Celtics, that leads me to question the style of leadership that KD even had. He had 4 years left in his contract when he requested that trade, and the teams he wanted to go to were exclusively the first seed Suns and the first seed Miami Heat.
But the bottom line is this. You left Steph Curry to join Kyrie Irving. You departed from Brooklyn to go to Phoenix. The situation was self-inflicted. And that, especially when you go out like this, is going to be as, if not more, remembered than the titles that you won with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Here again, the walking contradiction. He argues with this guy on Twitter where in 2019 he said being in the GOAT conversation is not something that moves him. Kevin Durant, same guy that now talks about why isn't he in the convo, was the same guy in 2019 saying being the GOAT is not something that moves him. So which one is it, Kevin Durant, is the question I'm asking. All his time in the Warriors, he had to play with Steph Curry. Oh, look at all the space that he's given. That's the argument that Steph fans use to basically discredit Kevin Durant being ahead of him.
There is no shooter better than Steph Curry in the history of basketball.
Here's a provocative question. If he wins in 2 weeks, does he move ahead of Kevin Durant? That would make him second among
not as a player.
No.
His resume, yes.
The deal that Kevin Durant made in 2016 is now one that haunts him.
You have to be a bus driver. You can't be a bus rider. Kevin Durant is still a bus rider until he wins one in Brooklyn.
Oh, TNT trolling him with the Cancun bus of Brooklyn. Oh my gosh. Kevin Durant's response to Chuck saying he did the same thing and hopped on, super teams and whatnot.
Kobe Bryant said, I had to win a championship without Shaq. LeBron James said, I had to win a championship without Wade, Chris Bosh. That's the way this thing works. Before KD gets that great respect from all the old heads, he's going to have to win a championship as a bus driver.
And Kevin Durant had to sit at home from his couch in 2022 as Steph Curry would win the NBA championship after he left.
Steph didn't get the credit that Steph gets today until 2022 when he led this team to a championship and won the Finals MVP. You got to go do what Steph did to get to that conversation. in my opinion.
When he was a Warrior, it didn't feel like he cared about the GOAT conversation. He said here, no one will ever get the mantle of the GOAT outright. Maybe because he felt like he had already accomplished everything he needed in Golden State. But now, we haven't seen him win a championship on his own. And that's really the question.
Kevin Durant, because of some of the decisions that he made throughout the course of his career, right? The journey that he had to go, he could get criticized. We all-time greats that got criticized. We criticized LeBron James when he went to Miami, right? And LeBron James, the reason he went back to Cleveland is to shut the haters up and to change the narrative.
So after LeBron, disappointed the crowd in Cleveland and basically became enemy number one, then goes back home 4 years later to try to reclaim the mantle of being the Cleveland's best and win a title over there in Cleveland. And of course, that's in response to the critics that said he had to win one on his own. Kevin Durant is now in the same position, albeit he's older, but he's the same guy that said he's still OKC even back in 2017.
Would he be setting up a comeback? Wow. Who knows? He could do what LeBron did. He said he is OKC. He still loves the city.
Again, it's a shame that I have to quote Paul Pierce here, but Kevin Durant, if he wants to redeem himself, so to speak, if he wants to restore his name, that's the best way to do it.
Seconds, it's over, it's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again.
Cleveland, this is for you.
But he's only getting older, and the Thunder already have a superstar MVP candidate in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that I'm not sure KD can even outplay anymore. Kevin Durant, it may be too late for him to even try to restore his name. The deal he made in 2016 ultimately deciding his fate.